the place. Time to kick back and relax. Hey!
This place is a paradise! We get to stay here for a whole week! Can you believe it?
Shantae and the Seven Sirens has had quite the journey to reach consoles. Although it was announced in 2019, only the first part was released as an exclusivity deal with Apple Arcade. Part 2, covering the rest of Seven Sirens, finally came out earlier this year, but it's the console release that many fans of the Half-Genie were eagerly awaiting. However, coming into this review, I was kinda nervous. While I really love Shantae with her bright and colorful world full of vibrant and fun characters, I have to admit, I'm not especially good at platformers. It's a skill that sometimes you just gotta get good at, and I've never truly been able to get good. But would that be enough to kill my enjoyment of Shantae and the Seven Sirens? Or could its strong points shine through? The story focuses on Shantae and her friends taking a vacation away from Scuttletown to visit Paradise Island, where a Half-Genie festival is being held. Delighted at the chance for a break and the opportunity to meet other Half-Genies, Shantae is having a good time until the other girls are mysteriously kidnapped during a stage show. Now it's up to Shantae to explore the island, find the missing Half-Genies, and uncover the secrets of a sunken city that sleeps deep beneath their feet. Despite my initial concerns that maybe I was going to struggle with Shantae and the Seven Sirens, it actually wasn't nearly as uncomfortable as I was expecting it to be. For starters, it's not hard to fall in love with the quirky cast of characters that fans of the franchise already know and love, and this story just continues to add on to their development. The same comedic approach from previous games is still seen here, with plenty of moments breaking the fourth wall that had me laughing out loud. Having a really fun world and an appealing aesthetic to play around in definitely made this platformer more palatable for me. It also didn't hurt that the soundtrack is so fun and exciting, with a variety befitting its surroundings, with cool tropical tunes, haunting underwater melodies, and plenty of great action tracks with a focus on chiptune audio. Thankfully, the transition from mobile to console hasn't been too terribly jarring. The controls are tight and easy to understand even for the most unskilled platformer fans. But it does help that Seven Sirens really isn't a difficult game. The design and difficulty seems tailored more for a casual mobile gamer because the game is constantly throwing things at you to ensure that you stay alive, even when you really shouldn't. Hearts that partially refill your health are littered all over the place, and enemies are almost always dropping a plethora of food items such as canned tuna, salmon, or golden crabs that refill more substantial amounts of health and magic. It's also possible to simply buy health restoring potions, but it hardly seemed necessary. The sheer amount of health given made it so I rarely bothered with using magic or abilities other than my standard hair whip, although certain enemies are definitely easier to defeat if you mix it up. I may not have the greatest platforming skills, but even I never feared death, as I didn't get close to losing against any boss or trial, even by the end. While it was a bit of a relief that I could just enjoy the story and world, I do feel like others are going to be expecting a bigger challenge. It took me about 12 hours to beat Shantae and the Seven Sirens, and I'm certain someone who really knows Shantae could easily shave 2 to 4 hours off that time. And admittedly, I didn't even come close to finding every hidden secret buried in the game, nor have I yet started up New Game Plus, which boasts more magic and less defense, providing the possibility of an added challenge. To its credit, Shantae and the Seven Sirens has an incredibly large world to explore, rather than several smaller levels, which was fun and exciting. Dancing returns to this game, though in a slightly different fashion from previous entries. Whereas older Shantae titles allowed you to directly transform into other animals of varying abilities to accomplish different tasks, dancing in Seven Sirens gives you access to new magic after rescuing the other Half-Genies, such as being able to see invisible objects and platforms, or healing yourself and bringing nearby objects to life. Transforming into helpful animal forms makes its return here via simple button commands rather than through dancing, and using the Newt Form's dash or the Turtle Form's wall crushing ability are really fun, as you'll be switching through these form changes quickly and easily to accomplish your tasks and solve puzzles, and they're creative ways to get you exploring and re-exploring every nook and cranny of Paradise Island. Boss fights might not be especially challenging, but they are incredibly creative, with different puzzles and tricks required to take them down. For example, the Water Lily Siren needs to be pushed into the sunlight before any of your attacks will land, while Coral Siren has to be trapped in holes that you've drilled. It makes each encounter feel just that much more unique. Personally, one of the big incentives of getting the console version over the iOS counterpart, aside from the comfort of a controller over the mobile version's touch controls, is the addition of even more cutscenes. Aside from the opening animation by Japanese production company Studio Trigger, known for their work on anime like SSSS Gridman and Kill la Kill, other cute and fun cutscenes have been added to the game. That being said, it doesn't appear that these were also animated by Trigger. I also can't help but wish that WayForward had been able to include voice acting for the entire game rather than the occasional line here and there. It really adds to each character's personality, so I can't help but want to hear more. After playing Shantae and the Seven Sirens, it's easy to understand why the Shantae franchise has garnered the fan following that it has. Despite the worries I had regarding my skill at platformers, it really was accessible enough for me to be able to tackle with little issue. I think it serves as a great place to jump into the series, even if you aren't familiar with previous Shantae entries, as it doesn't especially expect you to know anything about those previous titles. It's also a fine choice for more casual gamers who are looking to get into platformers. That said, I do worry that it might be too casual for someone looking for more of a challenge in their platformers. I ended up liking Seven Sirens in the end. Between the entertaining narrative and characters, fun setting, and great music, it's great to see that Shantae is still going strong 5 entries in. That said, I do think it's perfectly well suited for anyone looking to try out a speedrun. There are plenty of ways you can handicap yourself, such as choosing not to increase your heart containers or upgrade your abilities. Little decisions like this could perhaps give a hardcore platforming gamer a real run for their money. Thanks for watching, everyone. This has been MarzGurl, and if you liked this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel, ring that notification bell, and keep it on GameXplain for more things Shantae and all things gaming.